Hi Virgo, this is a love reading for you for September 2018, and you have the Page of Wands showing first. This is a happy birthday present for you, Virgo, as I haven't yet been able to do love readings for each sign every month. I'm thinking that we'll start hopefully next month though, definitely within the next couple of months. But you're first. This is your happy birthday reading this month. And considering that Venus just went into Scorpio and Mars just moved into Aquarius, I probably will do, I'll try to put out a reading like this one for the collective, a love reading for all of us around this time, speaking to that activity. The Page of Pentacles is showing, and this is not the first indication that I've had for you, Virgo, that this reading would be about a love that you feel secure in, a love that you have worked to feel secure in. And the Page of Pentacles often does say a message of security, speak of a message of security to me. And also with the Page of Wands, you may be involved with a fire energy at this time. That may be specifically who I'm speaking to. Those two messengers, earth and fire messengers there. You could be the earth messenger. But Virgo, this is also just the energy that represents your relationship or your love life, even if you're single, at the around this time, as I said, right when Venus has just moved into Scorpio and Mars into Aquarius. And we just had our new moon in Virgo, and the moon is about to move into Scorpio now. So right around this time in September, if you're in a relationship, I'd say you're both feeling secure. And even if you're single, you're feeling secure living that life, being single. And whether you're single or in a relationship, you feel you've learned a lot of lessons in the arena of love, and are making plans for your future, plans on how you might find the right person if you're not with them, or plans for what your future might look like with the person that you're already with. And then we'll take a look at the two main energies influencing your love life. That security, that sense that you've learned a lot. And maybe that you know you're in the midst of an important lesson in your love life now. And then we'll look at the energies that are external to your love situation and influencing it. So these two main influences on your love life, they could be, most likely in my mind, would be the masculine and the feminine aspect of a relationship. Or again, if you're single, then they could just be the two energies of yourself. The two main energies in your chart, perhaps, or the two main issues in your mind that are influencing the Page of Pentacles, or whatever your love life energy is. And then the outside energies could be friends, family, work stresses, who knows, external things influencing you. And we'll look at then where the relationship is heading. And then we'll see what that means for each of you individually, where that means you two are headed. And then there'll be some advice for us as well regarding everything we see here. Virgo. So one of the outside influences is, possibly both of the outside influences are Pisces energies. Friends of each of yours, again, family members. So I'd say the feminine aspect of this, of your love life at this time, or if you're single, you know, just your love life at this time, is being offered love from external sources. So if you are single, you that's a choice. You don't have to be there. You know, someone is offering you, telling you how they feel about you in a romantic way, I think. And even if you are in a relationship, there are messages, offers coming in to the feminine side of that relationship then. And messages are really relevant in this reading. We had a page show up first. We have 2 pages here. The water, the fire, and the earth pages have all shown up. Messages. Messages from our dreams are really relevant, Virgo. Messages from that your partner possibly is receiving from external sources. Now, that doesn't say anything to how, in regards to how the feminine aspect of a relationship most likely is responding to those messages or those offers. It just means that they're present. Whereas the masculine aspect of your love life right now is influenced externally by, again, possibly a Pisces-like energy, but a more mature one, a more mature masculine water sign energy. This is a very mature friend of his, or his father, grandfather, very mature father figure or friend of his who's giving him good advice, I think, about the relationship that is fueling the security that you are experiencing currently. Yeah, it's and where your relationship is headed is the Emperor card, upright. The masculine aspect of the relationship, or your love life situation, is owning its power. Let's see where you're at currently, what leads there. So, okay, so if you are single, you're feeling like you have to be very, very patient at this time, especially for Virgo females waiting on your Emperor, in a sense. And I see that your patience pays off, that you're headed there by the end of the month or the beginning of next. You're headed to a space where either, you know, you do meet, find, connect with, reconnect with the Emperor energy that you're being patient and waiting for, that you're patiently waiting for, or you step into your own power, and while you feel secure alone now, it's more than that. You own the space of being single in a way that you need to invite that Emperor energy into your life. You don't hesitate to make any of your own decisions, to take control of maybe asking someone else out or inviting someone else over, if that's the next step that needs to happen. You've been patient long enough, and now either you get the response you've been looking for, or you take control of the situation and either go and get what you're after, or just become even more content and happy alone and on your own, is what I'm really trying to spit out for you, Virgo, at 10 minutes in. You could be missing an Aries energy that's really important to your love life at this time, whether you're male or female Virgos, whether you're single or coupled Virgos. If you're in a relationship, for the feminine aspect of the relationship, it's a time for expedited progress. As Venus, right now, that Venus is in Scorpio, and now the moon is about to move into Scorpio. You're in your season. Mars is moving into Aquarius. Maybe because Mars is moving into Aquarius, that our action planet, our planet of drive and passion, moving into Aquarius, somehow it can be used to expedite your progress. That energy can be used to expedite your progress at this time. Because as he steps into his power, his, starts taking responsibility for his half of the relationship, steps up and meets you in this energy of not being confused, knowing what you want, being really grounded in what you want for the two of you. As he steps into his power and meets you there and says, okay, I'll own my half of that. What do I need to do to make that happen? This is how much I want that. I'm in this with you. Possibly gives you a commitment that you've been looking for, or takes responsibility for things that he needed to correct about his half of the relationship, what he was contributing, the energy he was bringing to it, or just starts being a more assertive individual. Maybe nothing was wrong in particular, or no steps needed to happen, but he decides to be a more assertive individual and maybe take a next step, or just start voicing what he wants in the relationship and where he wants things to go more readily. As that happens, it looks like you are moving into a happier space mentally, a calmer space mentally and emotionally, and with all of that going on, it's a time for expedited progress in your love life from your perspective. Now, and then that could be true if you're single. That could be true whether you're masculine or feminine. That could just be your feminine aspect if you're single that feels that way. That as your masculine side starts owning what it is that you're looking for in a relationship, what kind of energies you want to invite in and what kinds you want to keep out, you feel it's time for expedited progress, and mentally and emotionally, things are calmer. It alleviates a lot of anxiety for you. And then the masculine aspect of a relationship or of a person, if you're single, is feeling bold, fearless, fiery. See, I see this Queen of Wands, and I see Aries and the Fool, and Aries possibly in the Emperor, and we had the Page of Wands. There's a fiery energy that's definitely dictating a lot of this. I mean, it can be that Mars moving into Aquarius even. But that, the masculine side of this, or your masculine side, let me let you look at this a little bit closer, is not only ready to own, its power, ready to utilize its power to make the relationship they're in the best that it can be, or what they want it to be, but also, if you're single, to search for exactly what it is you want and not settle for anything less. It could also be, you know, fatherhood for some. Leadership for some. So maybe it's time for the masculine aspect of the relationship, the masculine side of you or the masculine side of your relationship, to take the reins for a little bit and to direct, to speak up for what they want, yes, and to maybe even lead and show the feminine aspect, where, you know, the feminine side, your feminine side, or the feminine side of the relationship, where it wants to go from here. And like I said, you know, in the future, as we near the end of the month or even moving into October, your masculine side, or the masculine half of the relationship, is feeling very passionate. A lot of vitality, is feeling very intense, and that may come hand in hand with a fiery temperament. You know, when passions run high, it's a great thing, and we walk a fine line at the same time. I don't see a lot of indications of like there's going to be a fight or anything like that. It actually looks the opposite, like you're moving toward a calmer space mentally and emotionally. And the advice is that it's time really for the masculine, your masculine side, or the masculine half of the relationship, to take a break, to relax. Maybe he's felt like he's had to prove himself leading up to this point. That is not to say that the feminine half of a relationship, or some part of you, consciously made your masculine half, or the masculine half of a relationship, feel like they weren't enough, they needed to prove themselves. But it just may have just been ingrained already in them or in you. The masculine aspect here may have been really struggling to step into this power, really struggling to get to this point, maybe looking for advice from, again, a friend, a family member, maybe even a counselor outside the relationship. And it's paid off. It's worked. But they were sensitive for a time. And it could have had to do with, if we're talking about a relationship, it could have had to do with the feminine aspect here having been confused, because now you're not in fantasy. Now you know exactly what you want. But for some, that may be indicating that in the near past you weren't exactly sure. For some, definitely for some. And there are these offers coming in from outside, from other people. That's something else that could have contributed to the masculine feeling a desperate need to prove himself, to hurry and step into this power, to hurry and take responsibility for his actions in the relationship, his half of what needs to happen to build the future the two of you want, if it's a relationship. He may have really struggled to make the decisions. What did he want, and what could he contribute? And so now it's time to take a break. And that would make sense, again, if it's a relationship, that really would make sense for the feminine half, that it's a time for expedited progress, because he's made his decisions about what he wants and what he's willing to do to build with you, or has shown you a side of himself that is capable of doing those things, making those decisions and building in that way. And there is always, with the Eight of Wands, and particularly in this deck, the message as well that you could start planning and acting and moving so quickly, especially the divine feminine aspect in your love life here, that you miss some other relevant information that's coming in. Now, if it's these messages and these love offers from a suitor that you're not interested in, that's one thing. But it could be something else. It could be something else. Don't get so focused on plans now that you neglect something else. Because it, you know, many things contribute to the security that you're feeling at this time. That looks like it only builds here at the end of the month and moving forward. Okay, so I know that was a short happy birthday reading, Virgos, but I do hope it offered you something that you didn't come to the reading with. I really enjoyed doing that reading for you, and I really appreciate your likes on this video and subscribes to this channel. If you're interested in a personal reading and aren't familiar with my services, just scroll down to the description box, take a look. There are free readings, there are $10 readings, there are 24-hour rushed readings, so take a look if you're interested. There's also a Virgo season reading that's already been posted for the collective. I will post a link to that for you as well. And, oh, you're missing the last row. Otherwise, a special thank you to those of you who have requested personal readings from me. I really appreciate it, and who have donated. Thank you so much. And thank you for all of your comments, shares, messages as well. It's all appreciated. I love you so much, Virgos, and I will post another tarot fix for you as soon as I can.